right, class. You ready to learn some more Spanish? You know, I don't go in for vocabulary lists. I like to teach the verb. The verb is the most important. So, what is an infinitive? Do you know what an infinitive is? It's the basic verb. If you look in the dictionary for a word, you have to use the infinitive. You can't use all the hundreds of other forms of the verb. Okay, so the infinitive is to do something. You got to know that. All right, how do you say to do something in Spanish? We said, look, it's got three endings, AR, ER, IR. If you see those endings on a word, you say, oh, that's an infinitive. That's a to do something, and I call them mother verbs. Now, I told you today that I'm going to show you a trick about speaking Spanish that I did when I was 16. My church, we went down to Ensenada, and I had just a little bit of Spanish 1, but I learned a trick how to talk all day. And I would take this word, I would take quiero. Let me show you. I would take quiero, which means I want. Has an O on the end. I want. And then I would take a mother verb, an infinitive, put them together, and watch how I could talk. I could say, quiero hablar. Quiero mirar. Now, if I was someplace and I couldn't speak more than just 2 words, I would say these things. Oh, quiero ver. I want to see. Or I would say, quiero comer. I want to eat. O quiero visitar. Now, you could see that I could talk all day. And the other word I want to tell you that's a trick is the word I. H-A-Y. The H is silent. But if I wanted to go down to the corner Pepsi stand in Mexico, I just use one word, I, H-A-Y. And I would go up there. Nobody else could speak Spanish, so I would go up and say, "Hay Pepsis?" That means, are there any Pepsis? Or I would say, "Hay tacos?" So you put H-A-Y by itself in front of like tacos or agua. Is there water? So with one word, you could talk a long time. Okay, so I promised to tell you that trick. You'll have to try it. Okay, we're going to go on now to pronunciation. How do you read? How do you read Spanish? Well, at least the letters are the same. In Russian, the alphabet is different, but English and Spanish have the same letters. That's good. Okay, so let's start in what do you pronounce? And we'll start with the vowels. All right, here are the vowels. A, eh, o, oo, and I is E. Now, the super good thing about Spanish is that the sounds don't change. The sounds are always the same. A is always papa. E is always Doesn't, in any word, it doesn't change. Now, that's a lot easier than English. Do you know that they don't even have spelling tests? Because they can hear every letter in the word. So there's no reason to have trouble spelling. So we go down to the I, makes the E sound. E, the U goes oo, the O goes oh, the E goes and the A goes ah. All right, now that's the last lesson I'm going to give you in pronunciation. You're just going to have to follow that, and it's very, very easy. Okay, let's look at some other strange letters. These are the fun ones. Okay, Jota is the J. And you have to clear your throat. Jota. Jota. That's always fun. Now, like Javier, clear the throat. Jota is the J. Javier. And even Juan has a little bit. Juan is pretty soft, but has a little bit of clearing of the throat. Juan. That's a fun one. And now, the G is a little strange in Spanish. Sometimes it's soft, like when we say gitana, which is a gypsy. Gitana, gitana, or general. And some G's in Spanish are a little bit harder, but some of them have this soft sound, like gitana or general. And the H, it's silent. The H is silent. How about hola? How do you spell hola? H-O-L-A. So the H is totally silent. And you can remember that. Okay? All right. Now I also promised you that we were going to go on to the magic pizza wheel. And I don't think anybody else has come up with this idea. I've never seen this wheel with anybody else. So you have permission to use my pizza wheel. But say it's Frosty's pizza wheel. Okay, now I don't like vocabulary lists, you just forget them. But I am interested in teaching the verb. Now, if you go to the dictionary, the only thing you can look up is the mother verb. You can't look up all the other forms of a word. Only the mother verb with the AR ending is in the dictionary. Now, did we talk about what different endings we have for the infinitive in Spanish? It can have an AR ending, an ER ending, or an IR ending. But we always have to put to. So plantar is to plant. Hablar, to speak. But there's 3 different mothers. Remember the funny mothers I told you about? Where'd they go? I love my mothers. Hand me that over there. Oh, here it is. Okay. Now, so I like to say the 3 mothers or the 3 infinitives in Spanish are AR, ER, IR. So up here, hablar, to talk, plantar, to plant. And up here, comer, to eat, ser, to be. And you'll memorize all these. Okay, vivir, to live, salir, to leave. And once you understand that, we are finished with our preliminaries and we're going to start into the real lessons. And the real lessons is the wheel. The real lesson starts with the wheel. Look at this. Do you know that I teach all 8 changes of the mother verb? And that's all you have to learn. And I teach them really fast. You start off with a present tense, and then a progressive, and so on. And it only changes 8 times. Now, in public school, they go so slow. They take I taught it. They take a whole semester just teaching you present tense. That's ridiculous. The other tenses are so easy. And then we can go to the library and get books and look for the tenses. Okay, so this is a wheel. And I don't know if I can do one in one session, but we are going to move very, very fast. The next one we're going to do, next session, we are going to start with present tense, and you're going to know how to change that mother into a present tense. In other words, instead of saying hablar, to speak, you're going to say hablo, I speak. See you next time.